Brian Kurtz here. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I shouldn't say lately, I've been thinking about it my whole career, but it's coming up time and again about I did something on customer service recently, being a marketing function. I talk a lot about how we treat our customers and our best customers. And then I think something popped into my head, and I wanted to just hit the record button as I like to do sometimes, and as my buddy Chris likes to do for me. And I thought about my buddy Ryan Lee, who's one of the best online marketers in the world. And he went on a rant some time ago about how much he hated the term tripwire. And I don't want to like beat up on people who use the term tripwire as the place where customers come in and that's where they opt in, or that's what they get their first, bonus or whatever. But what Ryan objected to, and I object to it also, is that it implies that your best customer comes across this tripwire and, then they blow up. I think a tripwire is like you hit it and you die. And so, of course, that's sort of counter to the concept of lifetime value of a customer, because I don't think they're going to buy from you again if they're dead. So the whole concept and then not to take it so literally, I know, but it started really bugging me. And, I think Ryan used an alternative called the welcome mat, or something like that. And it doesn't sound as cool, but it is more indicative of how we want to treat our customers. It's sort of like, the conference I went to once, and the guy gets up in front of the room and he says, how to sell more shit to more people. And, I just don't want people to get that kind of language going, because I think it's a road that you start going down, and then, you're not really thinking about, the kind of evolved marketing that most of the people that I deal with, and I'm sure you deal with, are beholden to. And the other term around this is the whole ninja verse, the ninja, right? So I have to admit, I use ninja when I say, this is a real ninja tactic. But when I looked up the definition of ninja, there's something like hidden or deceitful, behind it. So again, it was like, oh, I'm like, I'm on a tripwire getting my head sliced off by a ninja. And so I like the term samurai better. My buddy Jim Quick, told me that, what about instead of ninja, we talk samurai, which is more about being honorable and being open and upfront. And it reminded me of like some of the, the ninja stuff reminded me of some of the worst marketers I encountered in the early part of my career. And some of them are still around. We used to call it the breakage model. And what the breakage model was these memberships where you would join a membership, and actually the goal of the membership was to get the charge on your credit card so you wouldn't notice it. And if they kept you on for 4 or 5 months, they were making a huge profit on you if you weren't using the service. That's called the breakage model. And we all know those kinds of products. In fact, you don't even go out of your way to remind people that they're members of whatever that is that they're getting charged for on their credit card. It's sort of the opposite of what the great membership people in the industry teach today, which is you constantly remind people that they're a member, so that then they stay with you longer because you're giving them constant value and all of that. So to me, that's samurai. Ninja would be, basically let's figure out how much money we can extract from a customer before they notice that they're not using our product or service. And I think tripwires fall in the same category. So I'm not going on a rant about either one, but I want to just bring those things up so that today is about just being more conscious about our marketing. And then the last thing I'll leave you with in this context is a concept that I'm sure other people have invented it way before me, but it's one that I'm just really passionate about. And it's this idea of what I call congruent marketing. And what I mean by congruent marketing, I've spoken recently to a bunch of audiences of more new people who are new to marketing, or people are afraid of marketing or think marketing is evil and selling is evil. And what I've tried to explain to them is that, you can market consistent with who you are, what you represent, and I call that congruent marketing. And so, yeah, maybe if you're trying to sell, ammo or certain types of products, maybe tripwire does work. Maybe, being a little more ninja is consistent with who you want to be, although I don't know why. But I think whatever that level is, whatever the line is for you, you can stay within those boundaries. And I always used to say, how you sell is how they will respond. So if you sell congruently to who you are, what your heart's about, what you do as a marketer, and it comes out in your sales messages, what will come back to you is a tribe that you'll want to be with for the rest of your life, as opposed to people who are just sending you money. And I'm not saying they shouldn't send you money. You should definitely get rich on them. But why not be around people who you really care about and want to be with for the long haul? So that's about congruent marketing. Let's deal with them in a samurai way as opposed to a ninja way. And let's welcome them with a welcome mat as opposed to a tripwire. So thanks for your time today. Hope to see you next week. Thanks.